Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. Today's episode is titled The Burnout Beneath the Kindness and How to Heal It. Let's talk about something real, something quiet, often hidden but deeply familiar to those walking this path of love and compassion. And that's emotional exhaustion. That bone-deep fatigue that sets in when you've been holding space for others, showing up with kindness, choosing understanding over anger again and again. And at some point, you just feel tapped out. Not because love isn't working, but because you're human. This episode is for the peacemakers who are tired, the kind ones who feel worn thin, the healers, the listeners, the givers who are now wondering, who sees me? Where do I go to rest? How do I keep loving when I feel like I've got nothing left? Let's explore that together, guys. Gently, honestly, and with hope. You try to be understanding. You take the high road. You check in on others. You listen more than you speak. And people say, you're so strong. You're so patient. You're so compassionate. But inside, maybe you're thinking, I'm exhausted. I don't know how much more I can give. When do I get to be the one falling apart? That kind of tired is not solved by sleep. It's a soul-deep depletion that comes from overextending your emotional presence while not receiving enough in return. And here's the truth that we often avoid. Even the most loving people need to be loved back. Even the strongest hearts break. Even the kindest souls have limits. This isn't the same as workplace burnout. This is heart weariness. It's what happens when you've been the safe person for everyone else. You keep showing up even when your tank is empty. You absorb others' pain, but have nowhere to place your own. And you feel guilty for even feeling that way. Because isn't this what love is supposed to look like? But here's the truth, guys. Love that drains you is not sustainable. Unconditional love is not supposed to come at the cost of your own emotional collapse. You're allowed to feel depleted. You're allowed to name that. You're allowed to name that as being you're not okay. You're allowed to say, this is too much. Let's name some quiet symptoms of compassion fatigue and spiritual burnout. Let's give them names. You start resenting the people you love. You dread conversations that once brought you joy. You feel emotionally numb, checked out, or cynical. You stop doing the practices that once grounded you. You cry more often or not at all, even when you want to. You get through the day but feel like a ghost in your own life. These aren't failures, guys. They're invitations. We're taking it wrong. These are messages from your inner self saying, come back to center. come back to you, come back to love. But let that love include you too. Let's be clear. You don't need to try harder. You don't need to push through. You need to let yourself be loved. Here's how, guys. Here's how. Tell the truth. I'm burned out. I'm hurting. I'm tired of being strong. Honesty here is the first act of healing. Before you solve anything, sit still. No podcast, no call, no scrolling. Just sit. Let your nervous system breathe. Silence isn't empty. It's full of the answers your soul has been whispering while you were just too busy saving everyone else. If you can pour into others, you can learn to pour into yourself too. Start small. Rub your own shoulders and say, "You've done enough today." Make food with care, just for yourself. Write a love note to the exhausted version of you. Give yourself that advice that you would give somebody else. Be the safe place that you keep offering to others. Be that for yourself. You are not a well that can be tapped endlessly. It is not selfish to limit how much you hold for others. You can still be loving and say, "I need to be alone today. I can't hold that for you right now. I'm choosing rest over responsibility today." That's all okay. Boundaries are a sacred part of self-love. Sometimes the restoration comes not in the big moment, but in the tiny acts. Watching a bird hop across the yard. Listening to music with your eyes closed. Letting the sun touch your skin for 5 uninterrupted minutes. Crying just before your body needs to release. These are sacred. These are enough. You don't need to crash to justify a break. In fact, just don't. How about that? Make the decision. Watch yourself. You don't need to be falling apart to finally be held. Rest is not a reward for work. It's a requirement for love to flow again. The love force doesn't thrive in your perfection, guys. It flows best when you are soft, open, receiving. So let it in. Let this episode be the one that tells you you're allowed to stop trying for a while. You're allowed to let the dishes sit for a night. You're allowed to say no to even good things. You're allowed to love people without fixing them. That's a big one, because we empaths just want to jump in and fix people. You're allowed to not be the strong one today. You are not abandoning love by choosing rest. You are nourishing love, rebuilding it from the inside out. I know it's hard to feel like the thread holding others together while you feel like you're unraveling. But hear me. You are not broken. You are not alone. And this moment right here can be your turning point. Not because you finally pushed through, but because you finally let go. Let the love force hold you, not as the giver, but as the thread that also needs weaving, mending, and restoring. And when you're ready, the love will still be there. Stronger than before because you allowed it to care for you too. And that makes a big difference, guys. I have to remind myself all the time. Until next time, guys, keep choosing love and keep choosing you. And keep weaving your thread into the great, beautiful tapestry that we all share. I love you guys very, very much. And you know what I need you to do. Go out and pass that on. Later, Gators. Bye-bye.
Every story, every voice, in this love we all rejoice. Infinite threads, here we go. Welcome, friends.